Straters, welcome! I'm Binkabi and this will be the third deck to be featured from my top 10 underplayed modern decks, and this one I have to say is a real treat. It's a blast. I like it a lot. What it is a deck that circles around Sky Hussar. What is Sky Hussar? Well, it's a pretty decent 4/3 flyer for 5 with an untap ability. That's great. But what we're going to abuse is the forecast. In our upkeep, we can tap 2 white or blue creatures, or white-blue creatures, whichever one, and we get to draw a card. That's amazing. Free card draw. Doesn't even cost mana or anything. So to support this, we are running a bunch of 1-drops. 4 Judge's Familiars, 4 Martyr of Frost, 4 Gudul Lurker, and 4 Curse Catchers. So the basic of this is we are running creatures that does something spellish, and that works well with the deck. And I threw in Gudul Lurker because it's so good with the ninjutsu part of the deck. We're running 2 ninjas, could be 3 actually. I'm not against that, but I wanted to add Mistblade Shinobi, and there is 2 reasons. One, this deck compared to a legacy version that gets Disrupting Shoal and Force of Will, this one does not have the luxury. It only has the 4 Disrupting Shoal. So I thought it would be a good and wise idea to spread the mana cost a little bit. So this is a 3-drop that costs 1 essentially, with a pretty neat ability to boot. So the Gudul Lurkers are pretty good to enable ninjutsu. Then of course for Edevile, that's why we're only running 13 lands. Yep, you heard it, 13 lands. Way less than your normal draft deck, and this is constructed, so probably don't need the Ghost Quarters, but it feels like with all the Eldrazi running around it could be good. And then islands, only islands. So you could easily keep a 1-lander if you have Edevile. You could probably keep a 1-lander anyway, but the main reason we can do it with 13 lands is because we're gonna draw so many cards. Then I'm running 4 Spell Study Sprite. It's also just a good wrench to throw at them, and another good ninjutsu target. A little pauper combo. Then 2 Snapback, and that's also, we're running on a lot of spells, not many lands, so this is better than like Vapor Snag because it doesn't cost anything. It's also great to protect your own thing if you need to. Then the main difference is that I threw in 4 Mana Leak from previous Legacy incarnations, because as I said, we don't have Force of Will, we need something, and 2 mana is the most that we can achieve, I think, to count on to achieve before we have Sky Hussar engines going, and when that is going well, then we're in pretty good shape anyway. Could be that Deprive would be better, I'm not sure, but maybe. On the 3s, of course, Shinobi, as I said, 1 Scab Ruinator, great to vial out, easy to feed, and just a good card overall. And I threw in a click as well, more disruption, another fairy, stuff like that. The 2 ninjas, 4 Sky Hussar obviously, 4 Disrupting Shoal, and I'm running 1 Commandeer as well. I tried it out earlier in Modern, and I think it's quite good just to steal like a Karn or just big stuff is pretty funny. But I have to admit, I'm not certain really if it's going to work out every time I cast it, but I assume that gain control of target spell means that it's basically like you cast it, so it should work pretty good. 2 Void Snares as well, just to be able to bounce stuff so we can counter it. That's basically the main deck. The game plan is flood with dorks, tap them to draw cards, take a bunch of damage, but then when you have a crushing advantage and counter everything, then it doesn't really matter. And when you do have this advantage, you can tick your vial up to 5 and do something like tap 6 creatures to draw 3 cards if you have 3 Sky Hussars, and then vial 1 in to untap everything, and that's pretty good. For the sideboard, I'm not certain. I just threw something together here. Why can't we sort by name? Oh well, whatever. 3 relics. I think that's the cheapest, best graveyard hoster we can find. Another Void Snare if we need it. 2 negates. We could be running into stuff like Scape Shift, and that could be problematic to beat. So negate's pretty good. 1 Hercules Recall. I think Affinity might be the worst matchup. So that's probably needed. 2 Echoing Truth, again with the bounce, but this could bounce multiples. 1 Hibernation, mostly for fun, but anyway. 3 Sphinx's Tutelage, and that's the card I'm not certain about. It could be that we need like Master of Waves could be good. I think I had something else on 3 for a while. I mean, stuff like that. So we will have to check that out. But this just feels like a good alternate win condition if you're facing, for example, Lantern Control. This deck, I can't see this deck beat a Lantern Control deck unless we bring in Hercules, Sphinx's Tutelage. Hercules Recall probably pretty good too. We could obviously counter stuff, but Familiar and Curse Catcher counters instants and sorceries, not non-creatures. So a second Commandeer and a Mindbreak Trap for Storm. Though I have to say that this deck should crush Storm. Like, Storm shouldn't have a chance in the world. But there's the deck, and I will play it for, well, my main goal is 1, 2, 3 or 4 matches, depending on how well it showcases what I want it to show. So if it goes really well, we only play 1 match, but we will see. I would aim to 2 or 3 most of the time. So there you have the deck. Hopefully you will enjoy it, and let's take it for a spin.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. You can find us on Twitter at MagicGathStrat, Facebook /MagicGatheringStrat, or on the web, magicgatheringstrat.com. There you can find articles and free prize-supported leagues. This is all brought to you by our Patreons and cardhoarder.com. If you enjoy this content, please consider supporting us at patreon.com/MagicGatheringStrat.